Seventh-day Adventist Church has an active missionary presence in over 200 countries and territories. But around the world, religious hatred exposes itself in countless ways. If anyone says, "I love God," yet hates his brother, he is a liar. For anyone who does not love his brother whom he has seen cannot love God, whom he has not seen. Unfortunately, men never do evil so completely and cheerfully as when they do it from religious conviction. But we hold true that religious liberty is a God-given right. The end of law is not to abolish or restrain, but to preserve and enlarge freedom. For in all the states of created beings capable of law, where there is no law, there is no freedom. We believe in the natural and inalienable right of freedom of conscience, to have or not to have a religion, to adopt the religion or belief of one's choice, to change religious belief according to conscience, and to manifest one's religion individually or in community with others.
For 3 weeks, he was stripped of his clothing, put in a single room without any access to attorneys or anyone. He didn't know what was going on. In light of the fact that around the world we're facing persecution, as Seventh-day Adventists, we're not simply concerned about it because of what it happens to us or our church, but we have a vital interest, as well as in other denominations as well, that everyone has the freedom of religion. So we make it our business to give our support behind whatever efforts by governments and organizations to support religious liberty and human rights.
We have to understand that, listen, this is not something to be swept under the carpet. We need to bring it on the front burner and address the issues as they pop up, and not wait until after something has happened, then we mushroom it everything.
In our world right now, religious liberty is under attack, whether you're looking at Pakistan, Tehran, Iraq, India, Vietnam. Religious liberty is under attack.
Freedom to worship, as was said so eloquently in the prayer, is freedom to feed the hungry.
People of faith are being persecuted and are not being permitted to worship according to the dictates of their consciences. So it needs to be a major priority for all people of faith, because we are wrapped in a blanket of mutuality and tied to a single garment of destiny.
I think it was good that we were able to actually discuss various topics, because oftentimes, right, we don't discuss the things that concern the church as a whole. We tend to just push it underneath the carpet. And I think more information is to come through and actually inform the churches what is actually happening.
Without freedom of religion, we actually cannot evangelize. So there are many countries in the world where there's no religious freedom, we can't evangelize. So in the country of Burma, for example, they have a law that's pending right now that says in order to convert or to change the religion, you actually have to get approval from the government. So that's the kind of law where I think it's valuable to try to advocate against that, because, again, our mission is to evangelize, but if there are laws in place that say we cannot evangelize, then that defeats our whole mission. And that's, to me, the purpose of religious freedom and evangelism go hand in hand. Without freedom of religion, we can't evangelize. And there are many countries in the world. If you look at a country like in Pakistan or other countries where it's actually a crime to convert. So again, how can we evangelize if the laws don't allow people to convert from one religion to another?
We need to be more grateful with the freedom of God. And sometimes we don't realize, how important it is. We're not being grateful that we have the freedom of God.
It's so important today to show that we stand for religious freedom. And in this presentation this morning, I would like to explain you what is religious freedom, why we are defending religious freedom, and why we are organizing so many meetings around the world to promote and defend religious freedom.
This is the first time we have a festival of religious freedom in UK,
And first time we have this kind of symposium and congresses, that's a great thing, you know, because most of the time where we have religious freedom, people are not very motivated. They say, we have religious freedom. Why we should defend religious freedom? We have. But I think we defend religious freedom because also people are persecuted. And it's like if you said, you know, why I should help those who are starving. I have no problem with food. I eat every day. I don't want even to know about those who are starving. There are too many people who are persecuted. We have to do something. And that's the first step. I hope that one day in UK we will have an association for religious freedom, and I hope also that this kind of event will come every 3 years, maybe 4 years, but on a regular basis, and I hope that you will have a similar event in every city in UK. Because, you know, we have been called to take the lead in the field of religious freedom, and that's something we can do. We have done that in the world.
That the most important foundational value in every society.
We support different causes and cases, you know, of atheists, agnostics, or Muslims or Jews or, you know, Hindus, Buddhists, all over the world. Because the principles that we defend are really universal. So therefore they are not just for Adventists. Of course, Adventists benefit from those, but it is not an exclusive right. It is a universal right.
It's good to know that the church is expanding the knowledge that we need to have this freedom to worship and freedom to share Jesus Christ wherever we go.
We are really privileged to have for our Religious Liberty Festival this weekend. One of the things that we need to see happen amongst all Seventh-day Adventists in the British Isles is an understanding that we're not just looking out for our own rights, but for the rights of others whom we may not agree with and have very distinct theological differences with. Because the point of religious liberty that the Seventh-day Adventist Church has had more or less from its inception is that we respect the rights of others, even as God respected our right to choose. And that's what it's always been about. So I wouldn't say we've accomplished for a day, a weekend, there's been a sense of achievement, but really we've got a long way yet to go to ensure that every member understands the importance of defending the rights of others to worship and indeed not to worship if that is their decision.